In this video, we are going to enable editing on our feature service. That will allow a user to create, update, and delete features. We're also going to enable sync, that is used for things like taking data offline with field maps, and we're going to enable extraction, where you can extract the data in different file formats. So let's check it out. Open up the enable editing.py script from the feature service settings folder. Nothing new that we haven't seen before here, other than we are targeting a specific property to update our feature service settings, and we're going to target the capabilities. And we're going to use the Feature Layer Manager update definition method to update the capabilities for our feature service. Let's head over to ArcGIS Online. Here I'm in the settings tab for our Park Trails feature service, and if I scroll down to the feature layer hosted section, we have our editing options. We can see that editing is not enabled. We're not keeping track of changes to the data, and sync is not enabled. If I scroll down, export data is also not enabled. In this lesson, we are going to enable editing, enable sync, and enable extraction. So let's head over to our script. We first access ArcGIS Online using the GIS class and supplying in the home string. We'll assign our GIS object to a variable called AGOL. We then use our GIS object and access the content manager and use the get method, supplying in our feature service item ID, which I'll paste it now from my notepad. The get method will return an item object. We then take our item object and create a feature layer collection object using the from item method, where we supply in our item object as the item parameter, and we'll assign our feature layer collection object to a variable called FLC. We'll first print the current capabilities to screen. We'll print the capabilities for the overall feature service. So we're accessing the feature layer collection properties property and the capabilities property. We're then going to iterate through each layer and table in our feature service and print the capabilities property for each feature layer and table to screen also. These should match our overall feature service capabilities. But I would like to note that you can change the capabilities for a feature layer and table individually, and we'll take a look at that later on in another video. I'll run the script. We can see that our feature service capabilities is only set to query, and this matches what we saw in the settings tab of our feature service, where editing, extraction, and sync were disabled. We can also see that the capabilities for our feature layer and tables is also set to query, matching the parent feature service capabilities. I'll comment out printing our capabilities to screen. And here we're going to update the capabilities to enable editing. I'm creating a dictionary that contains a single key called capabilities, which matches our capabilities property that we want to update. And this is a string that is comma delimited. And we're setting our capabilities to be query and editing. We're going to create a variable called status. We're going to set that to equal our feature layer collection. We're accessing the feature layer collection manager and using the update definition method, supplying in our dictionary above as the JSON dict parameter. We'll then print status to screen to see that the update was successful or not. I'll run the script. Our script is complete, and we can see that the JSON message of success true was returned, indicating that our update was successful. I'm just going to comment out our example, and I'm going to reprint the capabilities to screen. I'll rerun this script. And now look at our capabilities. For our overall feature service, it is now create, delete, query, update, and editing. Although we only set it to add in editing, ArcGIS Online has handled that we can update, delete, and create. Our update has also cascaded through our feature layers and our tables. I'll head over to ArcGIS Online. I'm going to refresh the settings tab for our feature service. I'll refresh now. And we can see that editing has now been enabled. And we now have some more editing capabilities that have been exposed, where we can add, which is create, we can delete, and we can update. I'm now going to go back to our script and enable sync and extract. We can see here that sync is not enabled and either is export data. I'll comment out printing the capabilities. And for our third and final example, We're going to create our Python dictionary once more with capabilities as our key, and our value is going to be create, query, update, editing, sync, extract, and delete. When we added editing in the previous example, delete, update, and create were automatically added. Here we are just being more explicit, and we are adding in the sync capability and extract. Once more, we call our FeatureLayerCollection object, access the manager property, and use the update definition method, supplying in our dictionary as the JSON dict parameter. We'll assign the calling of the update definition to variable called status and print our status to screen. So let's run the script. Our script is complete and it looks like the update was successful. And I'll comment out our third example, and I'm going to print the capabilities to screen once more before we head over to ArcGIS Online. So I'll rerun the script. You can see that our feature service capabilities have been updated to include extract and sync, and that is cascaded down through our feature layers and our tables. We'll head on over to ArcGIS Online. I'm going to refresh the page, and we can see that sync has been enabled, and so has exporting data to different formats. Make sure to continue on to the next video in this series, and also make sure to subscribe. Take care.